StoreDot has gained recognition for its new type of battery cell that can charge very, very fast, and it's known as the XFC cell. It's not a very creative name, I admit that, but there's an interesting story behind this cell and the company, so I thought I'd make a video about it because it sounds very interesting to me, so maybe you'd be interested in this too. Thank you for joining me again, folks. I'm Ben Alexander. If you don't know who I am and you're new to the channel, I make EV news videos every day about news from all around the world and in the EV world as well. Remember to let me know what you think as well at the end in the comments, and press the subscribe button for me. I can't speak today. StoreDot is a small Israeli startup company that's created the concept for these cells 10 years ago, actually. And I'll get into what we know about the cell chemistry in a minute. It's a bit complex, so it's really hard to say simply. But they've got the potential to revolutionize charging speeds for EVs in the future. So that would allow EVs to recharge as quickly, they say, as refueling a petrol or a diesel car. That's what they say. So the partnership aims to adapt these XFC cells for use in Volvo's upcoming electric vehicles, such as the 2025 EX30. I get confused with Volvo car names. So they will start testing these at the beginning of next year, 2024, and then put them through a whole range of tests, really, really harsh tests. And this takes a very long time, probably until the end of next year. They'll be testing them, as you can imagine. Some of you will probably have seen or heard of the tests that BYD ran on the blade cells that are known to be generally some of the safest, if not the safest, batteries that you can get in an electric vehicle today. Some of the tests that they did with the blade batteries are the nail penetration test, as we know, and there's no fire, no smoke or anything like that. They ran them over with a truck, they heated them up to, I think it was like 300 degrees Celsius, and then they charged them up 3.5 times or 360% or something, the regular voltage, and they don't explode, they don't set on fire or anything. So this is why LiFePO4 LFP batteries and blade batteries are really, really popular, because the chemistry is very forgiving and it's also happier to sit at full charge. Happier. Shouldn't really do it, but it is happier, less irritated by it. That's what they say. I'm not an expert. So that's why they're so popular. The chemistry itself is important, of course, but the way the chemistry is packaged and put into the car itself is equally important. And the distance between the cells, so they're not butt up like that, and the cooling technology and the design that they use is very important to give them a very long, healthy life. So the company StoreDot was founded in 2012, and they have received $146 million US dollars in funding since then. And they started with about $6.5 million. And now there's a whole team working for them of engineers and scientists, and they do all sorts of research already. They've been doing this, in public for a long time, so we already know about the history. But it's quite a small company as things stand now, so it's hard to imagine that they would ever come up with anything that could compete in any way with companies like CATL in China or other companies like BYD. I could go on, Sony, Samsung, BYD, Lito Carla. Not sure if Lito Carla actually make their own batteries though, do they? The chemistry, I'm not sure. I think they do. Volvo obviously think there's some reason to invest huge money in this company and give them their time. And there's actually a big list of investors. Some of them are quite interesting. One of them you might know is called What 3 Words. So that must be a company that invests in companies that have nothing to do with 3 words. So interesting, really. I think they must be like a angel investing type of company where they help companies in the early years. So on a website called EquityZen, there's a funding page for this for this company, and some data about the company I'll put here on screen so you can pause it and read it. StoreDot's XFC batteries utilize lithium metal technology, which is a departure from the more common lithium-ion batteries. Lithium metal batteries are known for their higher energy density and that makes them a really good choice for applications where maximizing energy storage and reducing charging time is critical, or not critical, but just important, or coveted. But the company have put a huge focus on their cells not starting fires through short circuits. So as I recently mentioned in another video, the very nature of EV fires is just different. EVs, even though EVs are less likely, 20 times less likely to be in a fire because of their battery, the nature of EV fires is just different. So for example, the chemistry inside cells in batteries can short circuit because of dendrite formations within the cell chemistry, kind of like points on a car when the points would go like this, and then you'd end up with like a build-up on one side, and eventually it will short circuit. That can create hotspots if you're unlucky. That could be the reason why there's a thermal runaway event happening in your driveway. And even these fires could happen when the car has been left for a few minutes, few hours, days. So the risk for fire for EVs versus ICE vehicles is not really something you can easily reconcile just using fires and, quantifying one versus the other. There's just a whole different argument for either as to the safety. So anode and cathode materials, for those of you that I know are super smart and you're engineers, I know some of you. So XFC batteries typically use a lithium metal anode. Lithium metal has a higher energy density compared to the more common graphite anodes found in lithium ion batteries. This enables higher energy storage in the same physical space. So this is obviously important for EVs, I think. So this, I believe, is the only real downside to sodium ion, because they have a lower energy density, but it's still a fantastic chemistry. The cathode usually contains various materials such as transition metal oxides or lithium iron phosphate, or LiFePO4, to facilitate the flow of lithium ions during charging and discharging. The electrolyte is obviously critical, and it's a very critical component of the chemistry in XFC batteries. It's typically a liquid or solid electrolyte in XFC battery chemistry, so that conducts lithium ions between the anode and the cathode. They've experimented with both. So the electrolyte must have excellent ion conductivity to allow for rapid charging and discharging. This is the part that StoreDot XFC batteries are known to be a bit secretive about, for obvious reasons. It's kind of like industry secret type stuff. So carrying on from this video is another video later on in so many hours time. I'll publish that, about how China may or may not have been covering up about the amount of EV battery fires for their own sake of financial well-being, which is definitely not something that they would not do. I don't reckon, anyway. So they do make very good cars, obviously. BYD, exceptionally good cars. I just wanted to say as well, just a side note, I know that some of you are from South Australia that are watching my videos, and I wondered if you could just do me a favour, let me know where to visit in my upcoming trip to South Australia. Literally just have made the decision to go, no idea where to go at all, and it looks quite a big place. So never been there before, looks fantastic. Thank you very much for watching, and remember to subscribe if you thought the video was just a little bit interesting. And see you in the next video in so many hours time. Also, just a quick note, you may have noticed this big box here. I actually bought this with my own money. This is an All Powers R600 or S600, I can't remember now. R600. And yeah, it looks really, really good. All the statistics, really, really good. Two USB-C plugs, 100 watts output each. 600 watt inverter, pure sine wave, 2 plugs, charges at 400 watts. It can charge from solar, I think, at 300 watts. It just seems really good. So I bought that. I know I've talked recently about the Bluetti that they sent me, but this is actually something I bought, and I thought I could maybe just talk to you a little bit about this because it also uses LiFePO4 LFP battery chemistry. So really, really good. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Also, this is me too. If you're new, some of you are new. Most people aren't subscribed, but then there are new people on all my videos. This is technically the neighbour's cat. He always sits, when I do my work, he always sits there.